guys, Stacy here with Karma Rocks. Thank you so much for clicking on this video today. If you guys are new to my channel, welcome. I hope you enjoy watching what we're going to be talking about today. If you're a returning viewer, please make sure that you support this channel by clicking the subscribe button. And if you want to get a notification each time I put out new content, please make sure to click that bell. Also, if you like today's video, please give it a big thumbs up. So if you can already tell by the title, today we are going to be talking about how crystals are formed and how they work. So I say formed because it's important to know how they're formed to better understand how they work. So without further ado, let's just jump right into this topic. Okay guys, so the reason that I want to first discuss how crystals are formed, because that plays a major role in how they have these metaphysical properties and abilities. So a lot of times I get asked, you know, how they work and why they work, and it's just important to understand sort of their formation, and that is what basically leads to their properties and abilities. So basically, the way crystals are formed is that when magma is rising up to the Earth's surface, whether it be at a hot spot or a separation of the plates, and magma is allowed to rise up, it's going to encounter a mixture. And as it encounters that mixture, it can go through a series of processes in which heat and pressure are applied. And as that entire mixture cools off, we have what is known as crystals, and that process is called crystallization. Now that's not the only way that crystals form, that's just probably a very common way. So other ways in which crystals can form is through precipitation, in which, say, the mixture has water that evaporates off, and again, that is where we get the crystals that are left behind. This also happens when you have salt crystals and salt water evaporates, so you are left behind with the salt crystals. So this is just to give you a basic understanding of how they're formed. Alright, so what makes these crystals so unique is their structure. So basically, the crystal structure is an ordered arrangement of atoms, ions, and particles. Now what happens is, as these mixtures come together and they form these different types of bonds, we've got ionic bonding, covalent bonding, and I'm not going to go into all of that in this video, but basically these particles form in a symmetrical pattern that repeat along a principle direction in three-dimensional space and time. Now basically, the sole beginning process of that repeating pattern is what's called a unit cell. Now that unit cell is going to reflect the entire symmetry of the crystal structure. These formations are also known as a crystal lattice. So you don't have to know all the technical stuff, but I do want you to understand that basically the atoms form these bonds that end up forming, through these repeated symmetrical patterns, what is known as a crystal lattice. Now, something that's interesting about these lattices is the structures are so tightly sound that even light can pass through them evenly. So they're so distinct compared to other physical forms of matter. There's no other form of matter that is quite like the crystal lattice. Now, when you have these tightly sound crystal lattice bonds, what ends up happening is we have particles that are still moving around inside the crystal lattice formation. So what that does is that creates something called a vibration, or a vibrational frequency. So each individual crystal carries their very own vibrational frequency that can be measured, and that's again based on their structure and their crystal lattice. Now, it is said that whenever we come into contact with crystals, because they have or carry these much higher vibrational frequencies, that it is said to have an effect on us. And honestly, I don't see how it couldn't. So it's just the same as anytime you encounter somebody who's giving off this like energetic type of aura that's either really, really good or really, really bad, and how you sometimes kind of feel the effects of that. So when you're around somebody that's a really high vibration, that might lift your moods, lift your spirits. So I absolutely believe that when we encounter these crystals that carry a much higher vibration, that it is said to have a very positive and possibly healing effect on us. Now, it is also said that we have a series of points that run up and down our body known as chakras that are also collective points of specific energetic frequencies or vibrational frequencies that are measurable. So what's interesting is that we know that crystals have varying vibrational frequencies. Now, there are some that believe that when we place these crystals on these specific points that match vibrationally, it is said to heal and balance that area or that chakra. Alright, so basically, just to summarize the gist of this video, what we do know is that scientifically these crystals have a very, very specific atomic makeup and structure. Now, because of that, because of the crystal lattices and their very, very unique formation, we know that they do in fact have those specific bonds that are so tight that involves them having a very high vibration. So again, it is said that that interaction with us is what gives them the effect of healing or balancing. So if you're new to working with crystals, what I recommend is just also going a little bit off of gut instinct. So rather than being so scientific about everything, sometimes it's good to just go with your gut. So if you are in a rock shop or crystal shopping somewhere and you are drawn to a specific crystal, then I would say go for it, and then later maybe sort of research that crystal, its properties, and maybe there's a specific reason why you were drawn to it. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I kept it a little bit short today because I didn't want to go on too long with all of these scientific explanations, but I did want to make sure that you guys had a basic understanding of how crystals work, how they're formed, so that you would understand the science behind why these beautiful beings can be healing and also balancing in our lives. So if you enjoyed today's video, please make sure to give me a thumbs up. Please leave a comment below if you have any questions. I love getting feedback, and I hope you guys have an awesome day. Talk to you later.